And we're back with the American Legion Post 40 in Ringgold, and we're talking about the fellowship they have, some of the programs they have, and really wanting to recruit more younger people and also women to help with the auxiliary. But, and this is, Commander Denny Forster. So what would you like to share with everybody while we still got a little bit of time left?
What led up to me sitting here where I'm sitting is a long time ago in a land far, far away. I joined the Navy, and with that, the reason I joined the Navy is because I didn't want to go into the Marines, and I didn't want to go into the Army, I didn't want to go into the Air Force, so I wanted to go in the Navy. And the other reason was I was 17 and I didn't have any money to go to college, and nor did my parents, and I wanted to have a profession. And I found out that getting the data processing award at Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe High School in 1977, that I had a little knack for computer skills, and so I joined the Navy to be a data processing technician, and they said, yes, you qualify, and you actually qualify for the nuclear program and submarines. And I said, no, I don't want to do that thing. So they said, okay, you can be a data processor, a DP3. If you give us 6 years, we're going to give you an E4. And I thought, okay, I'll do that. I want to be educated. And so I got out of boot camp, and the first place I went was to electronics training. They gave me electronics training and didn't give me the DP because they were full of DPs, so I became an ET, and that's what service branch does to you sometimes. They promise you one thing and give you another. But I was okay with electronics technician, and I became an electronics technician in communication. At that time, they had two different branches. They had communication and radar. And fortunately, I got into communication. I found out what that little dial was. In the 70s, they had a dial. They didn't have, like the push button or the, anyway. I found out about frequency and got training and communications, learned about bouncing signals off the moon and stuff the like. And then I got a specialty course called calibration, and it was calibrating electronic portable testing equipment. And fast forward 6 years, going on a ship, going to Spain, coming back to Key West, my last duty station, and coming home. Tennessee Valley Authority had the facility right here in Chattanooga that the Navy trained me on, and then I spent 34 years with Tennessee Valley Authority. I said all that to say this: the military provided me with my education. The military helped provide me with my employer because I was a calibration technician with Tennessee Valley Authority. And when I got out, I actually came here because we had free meals every month, and I only had to pay $30 a year for it. And so after, like I said, I joined in 2004, but after time passed, I then became commander last year and found out what the American Legion was. And it's like I said in this, the preamble to the Constitution, it's veterans helping veterans, and now I'm giving back. And that's what I wanted to talk about with regard to the service of a Legionnaire in the American Legion.
Good deal, good deal. And so, while we've got a few minutes left, does anybody want to share a personal story or some kind of encouragement for somebody to come and be a member of the Legion?
Well, I don't know if this is encouragement, but a personal story real quick. I was in the infantry, oh boy, and I would get offered different things. So my father, thank goodness, was a sergeant in World War II. So I would call him, and like my latest was warrant officer. He said, Jim, you do not want to be a warrant officer because one, they have no and then secondly, they fly helicopters. And he said helicopters in 1970 in Vietnam are short supply. He said if I were you, I'd lay down in the dirt and just crawl. I said, thanks, Dad. And that's what I ended up doing. Great advice.
Absolutely.
I joined the American Legion because my dad was a Korean veteran and came here. And I brought him to the meetings and stuff. And then me and Denny sat down one day and figured out that I could join. I enjoy it because I enjoy helping people. My motto is veterans helping veterans, and that's what we do here. We want to do more and more, and we're going to do more and more. You have to start small before you can take giant steps, and that's what we're doing. We're starting small, building up the program. With Diane, we hope to build up the women's program because I think there's a need there. I think they're sort of the forgotten warriors in the service because people don't, when you talk about a veteran, you just don't think women. And talking about the auxiliary, you do not have to be a woman to join the auxiliary. If your wife served in the military, you can be in the auxiliary. The husband can join the auxiliary. I think the president of the National Auxiliary is a male now. I think he was the first male to ever hold the rank of the president of the auxiliary. But it's like I say, we're a family organization. We want to grow more and more and help families as a whole.
Okay.
You want to close this out, Vanita?
Yes, I've thoroughly enjoyed today being at the Senior Center and the veterans out there. I have really enjoyed this. Y'all have taught me a lot, and especially the issues with the females in the military. I do have a question. Does the VA, do they provide information on the American Legions and VFWs and so forth? Do people know how to find out where you're at?
If anybody is interested in their benefits and stuff, we have a brochure here that outlines some of the VA, your veterans benefits, that they can come by here or call us and we'll send them one. We would be more than glad to send them the brochure. It says, know your benefits, because that is important. A lot of people don't know what's available for them. They served, but, they don't, there's not a lot of follow-up once you leave the military from the military establishment. They, once they get you out, they don't communicate with you, and that's what the American Legion does. That's one of our goals, is to let the members know what's available for them, how to reach out, how to reach the services you need. That's what we have a service officer, and that's one of his jobs, is to help the veterans navigate the system.
Right. And I mentioned earlier about getting out of the Navy and not being a veteran, considered a veteran, even though I was a veteran. For those of you that are out there that have joined the military during a peacetime, please realize our Veterans Administration is actively helping and has support for you. I didn't realize that at this chili supper we had just recently. There was a lady that was a veteran, and she looked at me, she said, "I'm not a veteran." And I realized what she was saying because of the consideration of not being in active duty when there's a war action going on. We were classified that way. And she was adamant, "I'm not a veteran." I said, "How many years of service did you have?" She said, 4 years of active duty. I said, "Believe me, that idea is wrong now because you are a veteran." And I just want to reach out to those that are viewing this today, that you are a veteran. If you served 1 day of active duty, you are considered a veteran.
And I'm glad you brought that out. And so the folks, our hour has went by extremely fast. We've had some good information and good people providing that information. So we're going to close out and tune in again next week for Catoosa County Government Show.